Jerusalem protesters burned photos of President Trump in Gaza City on Wednesday, and Palestinian officials talked of cutting ties with the United States or ending security cooperation with Israel, as both sides in the intractable conflict reacted to Mr. Trump's formal recognition of Jerusalem as the Israeli capital. In Jerusalem, government ministers and opposition leaders alike welcomed the American decision, and the walls of the Old City were lit on Wednesday evening with the colors of the American and Israeli flags. But ordinary Israelis and supporters of a two-state solution to the Palestinian conflict expressed fears that the move would ignite a new round of violence. Yediot Aharonot, one of the nation's leading daily newspapers, ran a photograph of Mr. Trump touching the ancient stones of the Western Wall, a Jewish holy site in the hotly contested Old City, under the blaring headline, "Trump Alert." The article warned of a possible outbreak of violence as Israeli forces readied for protests in the West Bank and East Jerusalem. Indeed, in the Palestinian territories, Hamas, Fatah, and other Palestinian factions, whose internecine battles have often been bloody and politically debilitating, came together to urge a public venting of rage against Mr. Trump, who also set in motion a plan to move the United States Embassy to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv. "The issue of Jerusalem is the issue of the Palestinian people and the cause of the nation," Ismail Haniyeh, the leader of Hamas, told Al Jazeera. "We think this is an unaccountable gamble and an adventure that will not have a ceiling. The decision will be the beginning of a time of horrific transformations across the region." In Gaza City, officials and residents wasted little time taking up that call. By noon on Wednesday, despite a downpour, hundreds of demonstrators burned American flags and posters bearing Mr. Trump's photograph, in a protest at the Unknown Soldier Square downtown. Hamas and Islamic Jihad called on Arab and Islamic leaders to cut ties with the United States and to withdraw from peace talks with Israel. "The ball of fire will roll until an intifada will break out," warned Salah al-Bardal, a senior Hamas leader in Gaza. In the West Bank city of Ramallah, there were harsh words for Mr. Trump from Palestinians agitated at the idea that they were being forced into another period of conflict. "We will never allow East Jerusalem to be taken away from us," said a retired farmer who gave his name as Abu Malik, 54. "Trump is a crazy man who knows nothing about politics. I think he should go back to making WWF videos, rather than making these dangerous decisions that will only bring more headaches and bloodshed to our region." Mesa Hanoun, 20, a student at Al-Quds Open University, said she believed recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital would set off a third intifada. "He really doesn't know what he's getting himself into," she said of Mr. Trump. "The Palestinians will unite and raise hell." Palestinian officials were weighing whether to go so far as to cut off contact with the Trump administration, depending on the details and wording of his announcement. But they did not hesitate to describe Mr.